Well, ladies and gentlemen, the return to Riverside has happened. It's the EWF homecoming of sorts here in Riverside, California. Lalo Gonzalez going solo here at the commentary table as we have the first match of the afternoon. El Vigilante up against the debuting Red Thunder here in the Empire Wrestling Federation. We all know that El Vigilante is the mystery man here in the EWF. Well, he was a mystery man up until recently when he actually, I don't know whether it was him or not, the mask came off, and underneath the mask was Zero Gravity Chris Kadillak, who defeated Top Shelf Jeremy Jaeger to win the EWF Cruiserweight Championship. And of course, Frank Mott, we all know, let that decision stand. So you got to wonder who is the masked man under there today. It could be Chris Kadillak, a little skinny to be Brandon Gatson, but it could be anybody under there now. And Red Thunder, again, not much known about him except that he's from Martinez, California, up in Northern California, and as a very, very skilled wrestler. Wow. Rolling through with a nice kick right to the back of the shoulders was Red Thunder. And now El Vigilante going for a right hand. Nice arm drag, though, by Red Thunder. And then a Japanese arm drag to boot right after that. Nice drop kick now sending El Vigilante into the corner. Justin Borden calling for a little separation. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, as the rules dictate, if you're in the corner, you're supposed to be allowed to get up. But Red Thunder going right after El Vigilante, doing what he knows he has to do and staying right on top of that high-flying cruiserweight. Now, wait a second. Hard Irish whip into the corner, but a couple of boots right to the jaw. Now, wait a second. Look at this. El Vigilante has him tied up. He's choking him out with those boots. An impressive maneuver there. El Vigilante again choking him out now on the ropes. Come on now. This is a blatant violation of the rules. Taking advantage of that 5 count was El Vigilante. Justin Borden, a Riverside native himself, right on top of things. And now we see El Vigilante with a nice snapmare takeover, telling the crowd to be quiet as he winds up for that big kick right between the shoulder blades. Now coming off the ropes with a big elbow drop. Red Thunder coming off. Oh! El Vigilante now sliding with that big knee right across the temple of Red Thunder. Well, Red Thunder in a lot of trouble. You see El Vigilante now trying to calm the crowd down a little bit. Good strategy, of course, as he knows that any bit of momentum that Red Thunder gets, the crowd's going to react to it, giving him that extra boost of adrenaline. Well, look at that, trying to get the clap started and now saying no, no, no. Being extra careful of that fan and then flying with that big right hand off the top rope. Springboarding himself in, now cover hook of the leg, but only getting a 2 count. Oh, look at this now. Red Thunder trying to fight back as much as he can. Shots right to the stomach, and then finally a big right hand right to the jaw, flooring El Vigilante. Coming right back at him, though, with a big knee strike. Now look at this, going for an Irish whip. Hard into the corner. Vigilante with a head of steam. Running knee strike. And now proclaiming that he is the man in the middle of that ring to be beaten. Now look, rolling him over. Now hook of the leg, too. Oh, but Red Thunder continuing to fight his way out of things. And now Vigilante going right up to referee Justin Borden, arguing the count. Still, though, only a 2 count. Now look at this, a nice reverse chinlock applied. And look at that, the knee right between the shoulder blades. Perfect technique. Again, El Vigilante, not much known about him, not much known where he trained. But this is the kind of training that one would get at the School of Hard Knocks in San Bernardino. Again, the man that runs that facility, the legendary Jesse Hernandez. And look at this, Red Thunder now getting the crowd behind him, working his way back up, trying to break out of that. Got a hold of the back of his head and hits him with a jawbreaker, followed up by another jawbreaker, which sends El Vigilante down to the mat. Now look at this, coming off the ropes. Nice heel kick coming off the ropes was Red Thunder. Now El Vigilante's reeling, spinning front kick right to the stomach, coming off the ropes now, and a big axe kick floors El Vigilante, hook of the leg, 2. But somehow, some way, El Vigilante able to kick out of that one. Nice flurry of offense from Red Thunder. Now Vigilante back up to his feet with an assist by Red Thunder. Big forearm coming off the ropes. Oh, had that one scouted. Big kick right to the stomach. Now look at this, jumping over that sweep kick attempt. Climbing the ladder with a big knee right to the jaw. There's the hook of the leg. And still only managing to get a 2 count. Vigilante is furious. Of course, he's wearing a mask, so I'm not really sure what he's saying, but he seems really peeved. Now look at this, an Irish whip into the corner. Vigilante going at him again, only to be met with a big pair of boots. Now look at this, Red Thunder on the top. Wow! touching the top of his mask to the ceiling and then hitting him with a Hurricane Rana. Now, wait a second, elevating himself on the back. Wait a second, trying to take him down. No, wait, roll up. There it goes. 2, wait. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this match, El Vigilante. Well, El Vigilante picking up the win here, but ladies and gentlemen, he had a handful of tights. There was no way that referee Justin Borton was in position to see that. So El Vigilante continues to climb the cruiserweight rankings as he steals one from Red Thunder here at the Riverside Elks Lodge. All right, ladies and gentlemen, a nice homecoming for the Empire Wrestling Federation and an equally loud ovation for Jarek Mathews, a native son of Riverside, going one-on-one against Mighty Mike Mountain. And you could already see the power display of Mighty Mike Mountain just shoving Jarek Mathews out of the way. But again, the contingent of Mathews fans here, our own straight-edge superstar, their hopes not dashed. You see another shove. Mighty Mike Mountain sitting there posing down now for the crowd. Mike Mountain, of course, a very impressive specimen, only outweighs Mathews by, I'd say, about 30 pounds or so. But look at Mathews, the agility and the speed of this young athlete is what's going to get him out of this match alive. Ducking under 2 clotheslines. Oh! And a nice spinning wheel kick. Big spinning wheel kick flooring Mike Mountain. And now a big clubbing blow right across the back of the shoulder blades. Holding Mike Mountain up. Wait a second, though. Just flipping him over out of the way, sending Jarek Mathews to the mat and now stomping away on the lower lumbar region of his back. Now sending him face first into the turnbuckle pads and throwing a shoulder block right into the sternum, followed up by yet another one. Well, now Jarek Mathews being choked over the top rope by Mighty Mike Mountain. Mike Mountain utilizing every bit of that 5 count and now working him all the way down to the second rope. Let's see if he's going to go down to the bottom of him. Yes, he does. He works him all the way down, top, middle, lower, and chokes him out on the bottom rope. And now Mike Mountain putting Jarek Mathews in the corner. Big knife edge chop. And now look at this, working him to the other side of the ring now. He is just beating him from pillar to post here, ladies and gentlemen. And now, wait a second, hanging him up, and he's got him locked in that tree of woe. Oh, a Mike Mountain chopping at his stomach. Now look at this, tying up his arms in the ropes as well. What's he gonna do? Oh, gosh. He is just stretching out Jarek Mathews. Had him locked in that tree of woe and then hooking his arms and then pulling at that back. Now look at this, continuing to work over the back. Beautiful strategy on the part of Mighty Mike Mountain, continuing to work that lower lumbar region. A man cannot wrestle, cannot build a base of power if he cannot exercise those lower back muscles. And now you see him just slingshotting Jarek Mathews off the ropes. Mighty Mike Mountain continuing to stomp away on the face of Jarek Mathews, now picking him up by the hair. But look at Mathews now starting to fight back. The crowd really into it, but neutralizing the momentum with that big elbow is Mighty Mike Mountain. Mountain now picking up Jarek Mathews again. Impressive power display. Holding him up with one arm. Oh, and a big power slam right in the middle of the ring. Going for the cover, no hook of the leg. And only getting a 2 count. Mike Mountain, of course, a rookie, bound to make rookie mistakes, and that right there was one of them. You have to believe that a hook of the leg would have won the match. That is the kind of technique you learn at the School of Hard Knocks, and look at that. Mike Mountain pulling at the ears of Jarek Mathews. Now has him up, going for a hard Irish whip now. Opposite turnbuckle, Mike Mountain running. Big avalanche clothesline and nobody home. Jarek Mathews now up on the top rope. Getting caught by Mike Mountain though, and Mike Mountain has him locked up in a bear hug. Mike Mountain, of course, from the rim of the world, practicing this maneuver on actual wild bears, he says. Now look at the crowd finally getting into things, screaming for Jarek Mathews. Mike Mountain, though, shutting them up quickly. Now a hook of both legs, but still only a 2 count after that impressive spinebuster slam right in the middle of the ring. Mountain now continuing to jaw jack with the referee, saying that was clearly a 3 count. However, Justin Borden, our official in the ring, has the final say, only a 2 count. The crowd really involved in this match. And Jaeger Mathews unable to get the adrenaline going from the crowd. Mike Mountain wearing the lighter, the more agile of the 2 down. Mike Mountain now front face lock applied, turns it into a big suplex. Now rolling over, there's a cover, no hook of the leg again. Jaeger Mathews utilizing that lower body to kick out of these pinning predicaments. Jaeger Mathews still on the ground now. Mike Mountain going up, ascending the top rope. Up, standing on the second, going for a big splash, but nobody home. Jaeger Mathews moving right out of the way. And now stomping away on Mike Mountain on his own. Jaeger Mathews getting the crowd hyped up, getting them involved. This is what they want to see. Going hard in the other corner. Big clothesline. Now wait a second. We might just see it. That is what he calls the Echoplex, ladies and gentlemen. Jaeger Mathews nailing the Echoplex on mighty Mike Mountain. And now look at this, saying this is it. I guess this is goodbye. This just might be it. Yes, he's calling for it. Now look at this. Oh, but catted scouted was Mike Mountain, spinning him out of the way. Catching him again with that power slam. I think this might be it. No. Reversing out of it. Oh! Big enziguri almost decapitating mighty Mike Mountain. And now both men down in the middle of the ring. Referee Justin Borden administering that standing 10 count. Each man having to the count of 10 to get back up to their feet, or this match is a draw. Well, the crowd clearly having their favorite, and it is Jaeger Mathews, ladies and gentlemen. Both men building that vertical base back up to their feet. And now look at this, trading shots in the middle of the ring. Mike Mountain, Jaeger Mathews. Now look at this, Mathews on the offensive. Coming off the ropes, look at this though. Getting caught, big sidewalk slam. Shades of the big boss man himself. There's a cover. Only getting a 2 count. Jaeger Mathews not wanting to disappoint his hometown fans here in Riverside, California, especially not on the EWF homecoming here. EWF returns to Riverside. Holding him by the hair now, picking him up. Wait a second, what's he gonna do with this? Look at this, Jaeger Mathews coming out of it though. Big thrust kick right to the stomach. Wait a second, Jaeger Mathews now coming off the top rope. What's he gonna do here? Oh, Jaeger Mathews hitting that big tornado DDT, and now the singlet arms come down, and this just might be it, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Mountain slowing to get up, and that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a hook of the leg, so I guess this is goodbye. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this match, Riverside's own Jaeger Mathews. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the native son has returned. Jaeger Mathews nailing mighty Mike Mountain with that mafia kick he calls, so I guess this is goodbye. But welcome home to Jaeger Mathews here in Riverside, coming away victorious at the Riverside Elks Lodge.
This guy's not even in my league. You know what? You guys like him so much, right? You like him so much.
Well, an unceremonious start to this match between Omar Slam Duncan and the one Devon Willis. Devon Willis saying that Duncan is not in the same league as Devon, and slapping him right across the face. Big shoulder block flooring. Omar Slam Duncan not even getting a chance to introduce his young man. Again, it's the one Devon Willis going up against Omar Slam Duncan. And right now, Duncan is the one taking it to Devon Willis. Big arm drag followed up by some clotheslines. And now look at this, Duncan, full head of steam. Now look at this, Devon Willis, the one on the floor, a little unorthodox style is Devon Willis. Now look at this, hard in the corner. Well, look at that. Almost taking out the cameraman at ringside. Wait a second, look at this nice double underhook. And look at that, headbutting away at Devon Willis. There's no way Omar Slam Duncan feels that. I talked to him earlier, he says that his fro takes care of him. And now look at this, going for a cover. No hook of the leg, finally a hook of the leg, but a little too late. Only getting a 2 count. And now Devon Willis going to the outside. Devon Willis taking this as an opportunity as a timeout, even though there are no timeouts. And now referee Christopher Lee gonna start making that count, backing off Omar Slam Duncan. Devon Willis taking time to argue with the mini Mysterios in the corner there. And now referee Christopher Lee already up to 7. Well, Devon Willis now yelling at some other little kid. He just doesn't like little kids. And now look at this, Devon Willis gonna get brought in the hard way by Omar Slam Duncan. Wait a second, oh, come on. Omar Slam Duncan hung up on the top rope by Devon Willis, grabbing him across the back of the head. And now wait a second, is he gonna do it again? This is ridiculous. There is no reason why this should be continuing to go on. And look at that, now strutting, styling, and profiling shades of the legendary Nature Boy Ric Flair. Oh, look at that big boot right to the side of the head. Now Devon Willis with a big right hand right across the side of the cranium of Omar Slam Duncan, coming off the ropes. Oh, and a big shot right to the stomach. Oh, and using the hair for leverage, taking him down with that big side Russian leg sweep. There's a cover, no hook of the leg, and Omar Slam Duncan getting out of that pinning predicament. And wait, what's Devon doing? Devon grabbing him by that big head of hair. Now picking him up, looks like he might go for that big backbreaker. Yes, he does. Now Devon mocking the kids at ringside. Now dropping a knee right across the jaw of Omar Slam Duncan, coming off the rope. Big running leg drop. Now coming off the ropes again, and another one. Omar Slam Duncan might just be done here. There's a cover, but only a 2 count, no hook of the leg, and that might have been the deciding factor there. Omar Slam Duncan, a big man, weighing in today at 215 pounds from Harlem, New York, representing Harlem with that nice Harlem Globetrotter jersey. Well, right now being choked out on the middle rope, guillotine style, by the one Devon Willis. And look at this now, Devon Willis again utilizing the afro of Omar Slam Duncan. But look at that, reversing the Irish whip now, but catching a boot right to the jaw. Look at this, picking him up, big sit-out powerbomb. Omar Slam Duncan going for the slam dunk of his own. That big sit-out powerbomb, but now both men down. Duncan not able to roll over and make the cover. Christopher Lee administering that standing 10 count. Well, you hear the crowd now trying to get Omar Slam Duncan back into this match, and it's working. He's getting back over, now crawling. There's a cover, 2. And Devon Willis kicking out at the last possible second. Devon Willis, of course, most recently the #1 contender for the Empire Wrestling Federation heavyweight title. And now look at this. Omar Slam Duncan not giving him the respect that he quote-unquote deserves for being the #1 contender. Hard Irish whip into the corner. Look at this. Duncan, wait a second. Duncan trying to go for that big backdrop, but getting it reversed was Devon Willis, spiking him with that big DDT. Now Devon Willis picking him up by the hair again. And then a big headbutt, but wait a second. That headbutt floored Devon Willis. And now Duncan going for the cover. Only getting a 2 count though. Well, Duncan, I guess, said earlier, said that the fro protects him, and it did just that on that one. Now look at that, picking him up. Big scoop slam. Now wait a second, Omar Duncan now climbing the ropes. Perched up on the second rope now, wait a second. Devon Willis, what? Wait a second. Omar slam Duncan taking too much time. Going to the top, but look at that. Devon grabbing him by the head of hair, throwing him down, slamming him into that mat. Now wait a second, Devon Willis, what's he going for now? He's going for that reverse implant DDT, and that might just be it, his version of the unprettier. There's a hook of the leg, cover, and it's over. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this match, the one, Devon Willis. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Devon Willis, wait a second. Saying to cut his music. This didn't work out so well from earlier. He got shut up by the crowd. Well, what? He's got a pair of scissors in his hand. No, come on. The throw is just pride and joy. He's gonna cut his hair. He's gonna cut his hair. No, no, no. He just cut his hair. Well, look at this. Making the save before any more damage can be done at the barbershop. Espiritu, Infernal, Handsome Johnny Starr, Jaeger, Mathews, Liger, Rivera, and Kadillak. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Devon Willis trying to get the respect he says he deserves. And look at this. Omar Slam Duncan still feeling the love from the crowd. Well, DK Murphy with a Shanghai job on Handsome Johnny Starr as he was posturing to the crowd, showing that he's the crowd favorite here in his hometown of Riverside, California. But Handsome Johnny Starr with a big thrust kick, reverse thrust kick right to the stomach of DK Murphy. DK Murphy, the Boston native, now saying, well, not really getting his story straight, saying he got his hair pulled, then his tights pulled, and then he got kicked. Not sure he understands this is wrestling, and that kind of thing happens. Well, Johnny Starr standing in the middle of the ring, waiting for DK Murphy to get back in, and DK Murphy playing mind games. I didn't know that he had a mind to play games like that. I always thought he was just a big bruiser, and I know that when he hits you with that green mile, it's over. But DK Murphy working that 10 count, trying to get back in, already a 6 count. Well, look at Johnny Starr not allowing him to get in on his own accord, and now finally, looks like DK Murphy gonna get in, but get brought in the hard way. Slingshotting him in as Johnny Starr. DK Murphy, though, of course, running to the corner, trying to get his bearings about him, but Johnny Starr not listening to the referee. And wait a second. DK Murphy, out of desperation, hitting a jawbreaker, and now a big boot right across the kidneys, and an elbow drop right across the back. Johnny Starr is still feeling the effects of that jawbreaker, now being brought up and putting face first into the turnbuckle pad. Now DK Murphy continuing the assault on the jaw and on the kidneys. Referee Justin Borden telling him to back off while the man is in the corner. Oh, big knife edge chop right across the chest. That sent DK Murphy reeling a little bit. Oh, and another one. Wait a second though, Handsome Johnny Starr putting him in the corner, and now a big knife edge chop followed up by yet another one, and now taking him down with a snapmare takeover. Now wait a second, what's he gonna do now? Oh gosh, a big elbow right across the top of the head. Now Johnny Starr with a big Irish whip, sending out DK Murphy hard in the corner. Wait a second, going for that knee, but nobody home. And now DK Murphy picking him up again. Big backdrop. DK Murphy proclaiming to the crowd that he is the man to beat here. Now there's a cover hook of the leg, but only a 2 count. DK Murphy with that big backdrop, and now Johnny Starr continuing to hold on to that kidney region. DK Murphy wrestling smart here today, ladies and gentlemen. Isolating one area of Johnny Starr, and now look at this, working on him again. Holding on to him with that modified Cobra clutch and then a big knee right into the back. But Johnny Starr putting his leg on the ropes, only getting a 1 count was DK Murphy. Johnny Starr still feeling some ill effects of the punishment he's gotten at the hands of DK Murphy. Nice snapper takeover yet again, and a big kick right across the back. And then a nice kick right into the chest and jaw of Johnny Starr. DK Murphy taking a little too long to posture to the crowd and only getting a 2 count even though he hooked the leg. Now look at this, pounding away on the shoulder blades of Johnny Starr, going for the ride off the ropes. Oh, and a big back drop by DK Murphy. Good elevation on the part of him. And now again, posturing to the crowd. DK Murphy taking a little too much time there to worry about what the crowd thinks. Now going for another hook of the leg, but only getting a 2 count though. Now wait a second now. DK Murphy arguing with the referee. Schoolboy roll up, but only getting a 2 count. Again, DK Murphy worrying too much about the crowd and only getting a 2 count. Now handsome Johnny Starr in the corner, ducking under a clothesline. Big super kick, flooring DK Murphy. Oh, but unable to capitalize on the pinfall attempt is Johnny Starr. Both men down. Justin Borden administering that standing 10 count. Already up to 5 now. Both men have to the count of 10 before they're counted out, and this match called a draw, or the first man to his feet will become the victor. Well, look at this, both men back up to their feet. Big right hand by DK Murphy, big right hand by Johnny Starr. Murphy, Starr, trading blows in the middle of the ring. Now Starr blocking the right hand attempts, putting DK Murphy on the mat. Big slap right across the face, flooring him. Now picking him up for that big scoop slam. Wait a second, just dropping him near the ropes. What's he gonna do now? Well, taking one singlet arm off. And now look at this, slingshot in, slingshot, senton. And now look at this, going for the cover. No hook of the leg, and DK Murphy smartly putting his leg on the ropes, only getting a 1 count. Now another cover, same cover attempt, hook of the leg, only getting a 2 count though. Well, look at this, Johnny Starr picking up DK Murphy by the ears, and a big forearm right across the face. Now look at this, going for the Irish whip off the ropes. Hitting him with a big kick right to the stomach. Johnny Starr now going for a DDT. Plants him face first with that DDT. Wait a second though, not going for the cover. This match might be over. Johnny Starr looks like he's checking the roof to see if he can make it. Now up on the second rope. Johnny Starr going for a senton, but nobody home. Johnny Starr coming up short with that. DK Murphy now with a big boot. Wait a second, going for that green mile. Wait a second, reversing out of it. Johnny Starr hitting the Uranagi, and now a cover, hook of the leg. It's over. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this match, handsome Johnny Starr. Well, Johnny Starr making his homecoming a memorable one, coming away the victor over DK Murphy. DK Murphy, though, showing signs of great improvement every match that I call with him in it. Unfortunately for him, Johnny Starr was just that much better today. All right, ladies and gentlemen, an action-packed match for sure right now. The pinnacle of perfection, Brandon Parker going one-on-one with Espiritu Infernal, and big cruiserweight repercussions in this match, ladies and gentlemen. Both men trying to climb the cruiserweight rankings and get a shot at the championship belt currently held by Zero Gravity, Chris Kadillak. And right now, big, nice top overhand wrist lock applied by Brandon Parker, trying to roll out of it as Espiritu Infernal, and he does just that. Now reversing the top wrist lock applied to Parker. Parker now trying to roll out of it again. Loses the hand, but Espiritu Infernal going right back after it. But getting a thumb to the eye for his troubles was Espiritu Infernal. And look at Brandon Parker now thoroughly happy with himself. Now look at this, nice Irish whip off the ropes, ducking under the clothesline attempt, but being caught. Wait a second, Parker though, going for the right with that big head scissor takeover. And now look at this, a nice Hurricane Rana sending Parker into the ropes. And Espiritu Infernal with a big double drop kick there, sending Parker to the outside. Well, Brandon Parker trying to gather his wits about him after that big flurry of offense by Espiritu Infernal. Oh, now look at this, Parker calling for a test of strength. And I don't know what we could hear from Espiritu Infernal. It sounded like a bunch of mumble, but getting caught in that classic trap. Going for the test of strength, but getting caught with a knee and a club. Now look at this, Irish whip hard in the corner. Parker going for it. But look at Espiritu Infernal sliding through the ropes like a cat. Now coming off the top rope. Big cross body off the top rope. There's a cover, no hook of the leg, but only getting a 2 count. And now a big clothesline leveling Brandon Parker. And now a nice drop kick and sends the Tiger Wall flip off of it. And now look at this, Espiritu Infernal. Wait a second, that's Brandon Parker. Now the crowd clapping. What's going to happen here? Espiritu Infernal going for it. Oh, playing a little bit of mind games. I thought he was going for that tope suicida. Instead, stopping himself and then slapping Parker right across the back. But a baseball slide drop kick is what Parker gets the second time around. Now Espiritu Infernal right in front of the crowd, putting Parker right back in the ring, knowing that's where he wants to win the match. That's where he's going to make the most impact in order to climb those cruiserweight rankings. And then, climbing into the ropes, Parker kicking the rope, and an invariably low blow right there. Now a cover hook of the leg, but only getting a 2 count though. Now stomping away on the back of the head was Parker. Nice front face lock, turning a beautiful snap suplex. There's a cover hook of the leg, but only getting a 2 count. And now Brandon Parker coming off the ropes again. Oh, and the picture perfect senton. Brandon Parker doesn't care really what's going on with the crowd, just worried about the task at hand. You see, almost robotic in his nature. Oh! Big knife edge chop right across the chest. Now he's posturing, saying that he's proud of what he's done. And look at that, choking away on Espiritu Infernal, hitting him with another knife edge chop. And again, choking away on him, referee Christopher Lee there to make the counts. Big overhand chops this time, now throwing him again into the other turnbuckle. Ducking under that knife edge chop though. Oh, and getting one of his own. Oh, and another one. Going for 3. Is he going to get it? Oh, no. Brandon Parker with a chop right to the stomach this time. Neutralizing the momentum. Now a big scoop slam. Putting Espiritu Infernal on the mat. Oh! And a stomp right across the forehead of Espiritu Infernal. Now here's the cover hook of the leg, 2. We're only getting a 2 count. Brandon Parker says he is the pinnacle of perfection and thus far has shown that he has great technical wrestling ability. A nice headlock applied to Espiritu Infernal, taking him down with the headlock takeover now. And look at the Infernal trying to get the crowd involved, trying to get that boost of adrenaline from them. Of course, the crowd is that X factor. When they're behind you, you can get that boost of adrenaline. Infernal feeling it now, going for that sunset flip. There it is. Wait a second, Duncan. Oh! Thought he was going to get a kick to the face, but instead a kick right between the shoulder blades. Now a cover hook of the leg. Only getting a 2 count yet again. Brandon Parker inflicting an incredible amount of punishment on Infernal. Now mocking him, talking about Spanish, the native language of Espiritu Infernal, and not even really hurting him with those kicks, just kind of stomping on the back of his head a little bit. Oh, definitely send him reeling with that right hand though. Now choking him out guillotine style on the second rope. Parker using the top rope for added leverage and utilizing that 5 count to a T, getting it all the way to 4 9/10. Now look at this reverse chin lock applied. The technique not exactly what he wants. It's the knees a little high, kind of in the neck, but still adding torque to it. And now the crowd trying to get involved again. And look at this, Espiritu are now filling them. Shots to the breadbasket and now rights and lefts, but look at that, a thumb to the eye. Going for the right. No, wait a second. Oh, he went for a right, all right, but got 2 knees to the jaw with a beautiful jawbreaker. Both men down in the middle of the ring. Referee Christopher Lee administering that standing 10 count. Neither man able to really do anything right now. Espiritu Infernal trying to get back up to his knees. Finally does, and now is using the ropes to get up. The crowd now willing these 2 competitors on, not wanting to see a draw. Now blocking the right hand attempts by Parker was Infernal. Big forearms now coming up the ropes is Infernal. Ducking that back elbow. Oh! Big drop kick right to the thigh. Oh! Shining Wizard sending Parker to the mat. Now look at this. Here's the hook of the leg. 1, 2. Brandon Parker kicking out at the last possible second. Well, for now, calling for his signature move, saying it's over now. Picking him up. No, but look at Brandon Parker floating over. Big spinning thrust kick into the stomach. Oh! Catching him with that big boot. Oh, wow. An impressive backbreaker variation. This might just be it for the young man Infernal. No! Sheer heart and desire is what got him out of that penny predicament. As you see Brandon Parker arguing with the referee, that should have been it by all accounts. Now look at this, Brandon Parker, Irish whip into the corner. Wait a second, jumping over is Infernal. Has him now, wait a second. Hits him with that lung blower. Now look at this, going for the cover, hook of the leg too. I don't know how Brandon Parker kicked out of that lung blower, but he did. And now Infernal saying this is it. Brandon Parker back at the sweep, being held by Infernal, but look at that, blocking the attempt, and now a knee to the jaw, followed up by another knee to the jaw. What's Parker going for now? Oh, that big short arm spear. And now look at this, not wasting any time, going up to the top rope. This is gonna pay off big or fail big. Oh! Going for that double stop off the top rope and a big super kick right across the jaw. Now Infernal hasn't picked up. Bam! Hitting him with that signature maneuver, floating over now. There's a cover. 2, 3. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this match, Espiritu Infernal. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the main event of the evening. The A-List, the team of the overnight celebrity Ruiz and top shelf Jeremy Jaeger going in a tag team match against their cruiserweight champion Zero Gravity, Chris Kadillak, and our American champion Liger Rivera. And we have no doubt that the fan favorites are Chris Kadillak and Liger Rivera. And now Ruiz and Liger Rivera circling in the middle of the ring. Nice head and arm tie up. But wait a second. Breaking it, neither man able to get good position there. Look at Ruiz calling Liger Rivera a fat boy and then showing off his muscles. And Liger Rivera showing off his muscles as well with a little added enhancement, if you will, putting his finger up there, making the muscles look a little bigger. But be that as it may, now we have a nice, wait a second, going for a top wrist lock and then going for the hair lock and then a top wrist lock and then a hair lock again. And now the top wrist lock applied and Liger Rivera down to one knee. Wait a second now, Liger Rivera rolling out. A nice kip up and there we go. Reverse on the arm lock but a thumb to the eye. Neutralizes that and a side headlock applied by Ruiz. Now fighting out of it is Liger Rivera off the ropes. Ruiz meets a big shoulder block. But Liger Rivera is the one who goes down. And now leaping over the falling Liger Rivera. Leapfrog by Liger Rivera. Rolling through the legs of Rivera is Ruiz. Ducking the clothesline down. A big right hand. Oh, look, I thought Bruce Leroy was in the ring for a minute. As Liger Rivera with a big right hand sends him to the mat. Now wait a second. Chris Kadillak saying it's my turn now. What? And there's a tag, and now looks like Jeremy Jaeger and Chris Kadillak are going to go at it a little early. They have a ladder match scheduled for June 12th for that Cruiserweight title, but they're going to mix it up right now, it looks like. Oh, but look at Jeremy Jaeger not taking any of Kadillak's mouth. He's determined to win that title back. And look at this, a nice double leg, and then mounting him with those big right hands. Chris Kadillak taking a little by surprise, but a double leg of his own, and now mounting him with those right hands. And now Justin Borden telling him he has to back off. Wait a second, Duncan out of that right hand attempt, and a right hand of his own, big back elbow. Now coming off the ropes is Chris Kadillak, catching him, nice head scissor takedown. Now coming off the ropes again, big elbow right into the side of the jaw, and a big spinning wheel kick right into the face of Jeremy Jaeger. There's a hook of the leg, cover, only a 2 count though. Now look at this, Chris Kadillak with a nice arm lock applied, now rolling him over. Big kick right to the back. And now going for that high tip cannonball leg drop. There's a cover, no hook of the leg, and only getting a 2 count. Chris Kadillak measuring zero gravity, but no. Chris Kadillak measuring Jaeger. Jaeger with a thumb to the eye. Looked like they were going to go for a tag, but now Roger Ruiz getting tagged in. Roger Ruiz with a big right hand right into the ribs of Chris Kadillak. And a big clubbing blow over the back and the shoulders there. Now look at this, Roger Ruiz shooting him off the ropes, ducking under that clothesline attempts, hitting him with that Kadillak converter. Chris Kadillak hitting with that Kadillak converter. And now look at that big tilt-a-whirl takedown. Wait a second, now what's Chris Kadillak setting up for? This is it. That big corkscrew standing moonsault. There's a hook of the leg and a cover, but only getting a 2 count. Chris Kadillak grabbing Roger Ruiz by the back of the hair. Now holding him up. Now a tag in to Liger Rivera. Liger Rivera at the top rope. What's he going to do though? Does he have room for it? And he does. He makes room with that big double stomp right across the elbow joint. Roger Ruiz might be suffering from a separated shoulder or a broken arm, dislocated elbow. Oh, and now he's got a headache after that big headbutt by Liger Rivera. Liger Rivera, the most fearless man in the Empire Wrestling Federation, going right after Roger Ruiz. A nice front face like applied and a tag into Chris Kadillak. Chris Kadillak on the second rope. Wait a second. Oh! Chris Kadillak coming off the second rope with a big kick. 2 kicks, both legs right to the ribs of Roger Ruiz. And now look at this, Chris Kadillak picking up Roger Ruiz, setting him up for some more punishment. Big right hands right across the jaw. Now look at this, reverse on the Irish whip though. Ducking under, well, going for the duck under was Roger Ruiz, a big kick to the ribs. Wait a second though. Roger Ruiz hitting that big spine buster out of nowhere. And now making the tag into Jeremy Jaeger, who's just licking his chops at the chance to get at zero gravity Chris Kadillak. And now that big leaping knee strike right across the jaw. And now look at this again. Big knee drop. Are we going to see the trifecta? No, we see the leg drop instead now. Chris Kadillak in all sorts of trouble. There's a cover hook of the leg, but only getting a 2 count though. There you hear the crowd cheering for Chris Kadillak. Now Chris Kadillak fighting out of it. Coming off the ropes. Look at that. Going sunset flip. Jeremy Jaeger trying to fight out of it though. Oh, and he does. He reverses it and gets a big knee strike right to the nose. Now a hook of the inside leg and only getting a 2 count. Well, look at this. Now Chris Kadillak in the side headlock applied by Jeremy Jaeger, tagging into the overnight celebrity Roger Ruiz. Now both men looking to do a little double team damage here. Coming off the ropes is Kadillak. Oh, and there is their patented double elbow drop. There's a hook of the inside leg again. But Chris Kadillak kicking out at the last possible second. Oh, wait a second now. Roger Ruiz going after Liger Rivera. And Liger Rivera falling off the ring steps. Taking a spill to the outside. I wonder if he's okay. Well, Liger Rivera trying to get back into the ring. And look at this, Jeremy Jaeger choking out Chris Kadillak. You see Liger Rivera holding his ribs around the apron. I hope he's okay after hitting those ring steps. And now look at this. Roger Ruiz had that front face like applied. What's he doing now? Little hard Irish whip into the corner. Big clothesline. Avalanche clothesline style. Now look at this. Wow. Nice belly to belly overhead T-bone suplex. Release variation at that. And now only getting a 2 count. Roger Ruiz saying to Liger Rivera that he knows it's over, jaw-jacking with him a little bit. And now working his way back into his own corner and a tag by Jeremy Jaeger. And there the crowd trying to get Chris Kadillak into this match a little bit. Now wait a second. A sidewalk slam and the neckbreaker double team there. And Liger Rivera coming in to break up the cover. Saving the match as it were, but look at this. Jeremy Jaeger slapping Liger Rivera right across the head and now going to work on Chris Kadillak, choking him out. Liger Rivera hurting his cause more than helping it.
He was choking him. Come on.
Now Jeremy Jaeger just toying with Chris Kadillak a little bit, stomping away in his head. Now look at this double underhook. Oh, beautiful double underhook suplex now. There's a hook of the outside leg cover, but only a 2 count. Jeremy Jaeger, they're arguing with the referee, saying that he sucks and he's terrible, but Justin Borden right on top of the action here, making the good calls tonight. Now Liger Rivera reaching out for his partner's outstretched arm, but unable to make the tag as Jeremy Jaeger floors Chris Kadillak yet again. Now Chris Kadillak with shots right to the breadbasket, but Jeremy Jaeger catching him with one of his own, a big forearm. And now wait a second, what's he doing here? Oh, beautiful neck breaker applied. Now again, hook of the leg, a cover, 2. Only getting a 2 count though, again. Chris Kadillak still able to kick out of these maneuvers and these pinfall predicaments, but I don't know how. I don't know that he's not gonna be able to kick out of anything this coming Friday in that ladder match with Jeremy Jaeger. The only way to win is to ascend that ladder to get the belt. But look at Roger Ruiz and Jeremy Jaeger sending him into the stratosphere with that big double clothesline, and Liger Rivera breaking up the cover yet again. This match would have been over if not for the assistance of Liger Rivera. And now look at this, both men choking out Chris Kadillak in the corner, the A-list doing what they do best, and that's cheating. Oh, look at Jeremy Jaeger playing it off, just playing with a fan now. He better be careful. They're not a fan at ringside either. They're the expensive fans. The kind that Jesse Hernandez is going to get mad if we break. Now front face like applied and putting Chris Kadillak up on the top rope now is Jeremy Jaeger. Jeremy Jaeger now looks like he's going for a superplex, but Chris Kadillak trying to fight out of it, shoving Jeremy Jaeger down to the mat, and now a big right hand sending Roger Ruiz reeling. Now Chris Kadillak on the second rope, and he hits that double knees to the jaw. Now both men down in the middle of the ring. Chris Kadillak a little bit closer to Liger Rivera, but on Dream Street. You hear the crowd now chanting for Kadillak, trying to tell him exactly where Liger's at, and he finds him and makes a tag, but so does Jaeger, tagging into Roger Ruiz. And now look at this, a clothesline, followed up by another one. Look at the Liger Rivera cleaning house now, big scoop slam, followed up by another one on Jeremy Jaeger. Liger Rivera now with a hard Irish whip into the corner opposite. Look at Liger Rivera going for it, he hits it to show no fear. Roger Ruiz now, down, and look at this. Kadillak hitting that toy tribute. Chris Kadillak following up the show no fear with a toy tribute, and this might be it. No. Jeremy Jaeger breaking up the cover. Jeremy Jaeger trying to tell the referee that he was in his corner the whole time, but we have it on film, ladies and gentlemen. I saw it myself. He went over there to break up that cover. Now look at this, Duncan under the clothesline attempt. And we might just see it now. Liger Rivera has Roger Ruiz up and is spinning him around, and he's gonna might just do it. Oh! He hit the Chuck Norris, but I don't know that he hit it with all that impact. You saw Jeremy Jaeger holding on to the feet. And now Chris Kadillak saying one more as Jeremy Jaeger comes in with a big boot right to the stomach. Now look at this Irish whip off the ropes. Look at this quesadilla attempt, but no! The Quesadora into the Ace Crusher at the hands of Roger Ruiz. Now there's a cover, hook of the leg. And Chris Kadillak breaking it up at the last possible moment. Roger Ruiz moving away from Liger Rivera. And look at that, he's stalking him now. He looks like he's setting him for that big leaping Ace Crusher. He calls that Ace Crusher the TMZ, and I think he might just hit it right now. Liger Rivera has no idea what's going on. Look at Roger Ruiz. He's stalking him. He's prepping for it. Hey, look, he's going to get it. No! Liger Rivera reversing it. And then look at this, putting him up on his shoulders, spinning him around, and he's going to hit it. I think he's got it this time. Chuck Norris! He hits that Chuck Norris backbreaker. And now look at this Liger Rivera going into the corner, making the tag on Chris Kadillak. Liger Rivera, though, getting sent over the top rope by Jeremy Jaeger. Chris Kadillak going for that senton, rolling through when no one was home. Dug it underneath, and he hits that CTS. Chris Kadillak hitting the CTS on Roger Ruiz. Now going up. What's he doing now? Going up to the top rope. Hitting him with the, trying to go for a Hurricane Rana. No, there's the hook of the leg. Tight to the tip. Ladies and gentlemen, the winners of this match, the overnight celebrity Roger Ruiz and top shelf Jeremy Jaeger, the A-List. Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, a hook of the tights secures the victory here for the overnight celebrity and top shelf Jeremy Jaeger. The A-List coming away victorious against Zero Gravity, Chris Kadillak, and Liger Rivera. Now, is this a sign of the things to come? There's a ladder match coming up on Friday, June 12th between top shelf Jeremy Jaeger and Chris Kadillak.
These people, they don't deserve to be in the same room as us.
Friends, my friends. Friends are golden.
And baby, we're the best friends there is.
Time will tell, ladies and gentlemen. Paulo Gonzalez on behalf of the EWF saying thank you very much for viewing as the A-List walks out victorious over Liger and Kadillak.